All right, for week 10, on Thursday, we are going to begin the BouncyBall app. The setup that I would recommend is that you open your Books app to page 221, which begins the BouncyBall app. On Blackboard, we're in Unit 3, Week 10, and we are on Thursday. There are some instructions that I want to do that are included on Blackboard that aren't included in your Books app on the MacBook. And that is, we want to change the time interval in the shape.swift file at line 265. So the first thing I'm going to do is to open my student folder, which should be on your desktop. Going to go into Unit 3, Organizing Data, into the Build a BouncyBall app folder, and there we will execute the Xcode project file. Now the instructions on Blackboard told us to go to line 265 and to set the time interval to 0.5. And here is the line of code that we will change. The line of code is showing just in case doesn't show up at exactly line 265 on your copy of Xcode. So again, we go to the shape.swift file. So I click on my folder structure when I'm in Xcode, and then I want to go to the shape.swift file, and I'm going to go down to and look for that line of code. So around 265. And here I see it. So it is tap timer. Trying to get this all on the screen so that we can verify where we're seeing that line of code. So tap timer equal time scheduled timer, and you can see that right now that interval is set to 0.5, and we want to set that to, it's set to 0.1, and we want to change that to 0.5. So that is the first thing that I will do to make a change to the Xcode project. All right. Now let's go ahead and start to see what the so now we will start to follow the instructions that are in our books. I'm not going to read the information that's presented. I would encourage you to. The purpose of this YouTube video is to help you follow the instructions and understand where the code is being placed. So the first file we are going to work with is the game code Swift file, and it tells us that we are going to modify the setup function. So here is the setup function. At the very top of the file, under the import function, we are instructed to add this line of code. You can, if it would help you, we can do a Command C to copy this to make sure that we get it placed correctly. However, you'll notice that when we do that copy, it comes with a quotation of where we grabbed that. So you have to make sure that you remove those quotation marks and to make it a valid line of code. Whatever works best for you. And then it says inside the setup function, we need to add these 2 lines of code. So in between my open and closing brackets, I'm going to do a Command C and add those 2 lines of code. And again, I have to make sure that I am removing the quotation and the excerpt marks, making sure that you don't delete your end closing bracket. And if it helps, go ahead and add a comment to that. And now it wants us to run the application. And we can drag the circle around on the screen. The next code that we will add inside the setup function and we can see that now we observe gravity taking its effect on our ball. Add the following declarations underneath the circle. And that copy paste brought in some non-breaking spaces, so we need to get rid of those as well. So I move down into the setup function. And I'll bring that comment with me. And I'm going to run and build the app again.